y'all, it's Heather, and today we're going to the drugstore because we are going to be building a makeup starter kit for beginners. A full face, everything you could need in makeup to get started with at a drugstore price point. I'm super excited. We're going to shop, we're going to create, I'm going to share some favorites. Let's jump into it and we'll cut to me makeup free. For primer, I chose the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer or the e.l.f. Power Grip. They're very similar. The Jelly Pop, I believe, is actually a limited edition product, but it's a sticky gel texture primer and it keeps your makeup in place. If you don't put anything on top, it's gonna look very glowy, but as soon as you go in with product on top, you're not gonna have that glow like breaking through, anything like that. And this one, this Jelly Pop, I actually really love because it has hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, vitamin C, watermelon extract. It's really, really great. If you can't get your hands on that, I do recommend the Power Grip Primer. They have one with niacinamide and one without. This is also that kind of gel primer that has that sticky texture that keeps your makeup in place. I've seen people with all different skin types love this primer. Oily, dry, combo. I'm oily and I love it for sure. Now I also pulled my e.l.f. Halo Glow. This might be a little bit of an extra step, but I think this is super duper pretty. This is like a liquid filter is how e.l.f. describes it. So this you can use in several different ways. You can mix it with foundation. I've done that. You can wear it alone as your foundation as like a really light coverage skin tint. That doesn't so much work for me because I can't wear it by itself. It never really sets down for me with my oily skin, but I do like using it underneath makeup. So today I'm just gonna put it on the high points of my face. I'm gonna use a shade that's a little bit too light for me, like just a smidge, to give me kind of like a highlight, a glow from within before I go in with my foundation. You can also use this on top of foundation as a liquid highlighter like that if you want something really pretty, glowy, but also very subtle. For foundation, I'm going in with my Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I have oily skin, so I'm using the matte and poreless version, but if you have dry skin, they do have the Fit Me Dewy and Smooth. And I also love that this matte and poreless Maybelline foundation has 40 shades. And when I was kind of building this drugstore makeup starter kit, I tried to find products that were going to work for all skin tones. I definitely wanted to pick shades, especially in these complexion products that went from light to deep. That way, everybody can find a recommendation that's helpful to them. This foundation is a medium coverage. I really like a medium coverage foundation. It's not full coverage. It's not going to like flatten everything out. This is also more of a skin-like matte finish. For concealer, I'm gonna go in with my Makeup Revolution IRL Filter Finish Concealer. I love this concealer. I think it's such a good one and it's at such a great price point. This is a full coverage concealer, so you can definitely use a little. If you don't wanna get that full coverage, you can kind of sheer it out a little bit with a brush or a sponge, but I kind of like that full coverage aspect. Even though I'm having a full coverage foundation, it allows me to get that full coverage just where I want it. It does have a soft matte finish, so it's not a dry matte, it's not a flat matte, it's very skin-like, not overly glowy, not overly matte. This concealer is just so nice and it lasts all day on me. It doesn't break apart, my oils don't eat it up, and it just blends so easily. One of my favorite ways to set my under eye is with this NYX HD powder. I like the shade Banana and it just sets everything, it smooths everything out. I can use a brush, I can use a puff, it doesn't matter, it looks flawless. I've been buying this powder for years, but it just flawlessly sets everything. It does kind of mattify a little bit of the shine, but it doesn't give me a flat matte and it buffs and blends so beautifully. It's just so freaking good, and I feel like it just extends the wear of my makeup, makes everything look smooth, and this one from NYX is my go-to. This is the shade Banana, so it does have a little bit of a tint to it, that yellow, to give me that awake brightened effect. You definitely don't have to go with that. You can go with the translucent version, but I always pick the yellow because I think it just gives a really pretty effect, and NYX makes amazing powders. Next, I'm going to use another NYX powder. This is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, and I'm going to use this to set the rest of my face, kind of buff things in, make sure that I'm not looking too ghostly after having that bright under eye powder on. This is a more matte finish powder. I'm not going to use this anywhere but the perimeter of my face. I'm just going to use this to kind of set and lock everything in. This is not a cakey powder, but it helps my makeup not to transfer, not to wear away quickly, and it does have a pretty good shade range. I believe there are 12 shades in this. This does help extend the wear of my makeup, but it's a very sheer powder, so it's going to give just a little bit of color, but it's not going to look cakey. If you felt like the under eye setting powder I used, the finishing powder in Banana, is a little bit too light, this Can't Stop Won't Stop line does have a bright peach shade. So if you have a deeper skin tone and you like peach peachy under eye setting powders, which I can really appreciate as well. They do have that shade in this line. For brows, I'm going to use my Morphe Micro Brow. This is a double-ended product. It has a spoolie on one end and it has the tip of the brow product on the other end. It's super fine. It's so easy for me to get hair-like strokes because my brows are very like light colored. They're blonde and I like to fill them in. I just kind of follow the natural shape of my brow. I kind of outline, draw some hair strokes, and I call it a day. I've repurchased this probably 10 times or more. Like, I've lost count. It's so good. It's such a great price point, and if you like that tiny tip, this is perfect. I'm gonna set my brows down with my Ardell brow glue. I have been loving this. This is a hardcore brow gel. It's called the Instant Lamination Lift, and it will set the brows in place and they will not move. I really like that. That's kind of like my go-to type of brow gel because I can put my hairs where I want them and they're gonna last all day. For bronzer, I grabbed the L'Oreal Infallible Bronzer. This is a beautiful soft matte finish. It comes in multiple different shades, like light to dark. A little goes a long way, so just tap your brush in and then you can build it up. It's much easier to put product on in light layers than it is to go in with a heavy hand and then blend things away and kind of take that product away. I love that this bronzer gives me like that beautiful kind of sun-kissed warmth to my skin without being over the top. Bronzer is a step that I just can never skip. It gives like a life to my face. It brings things back and gives me more of that healthy type look that I'm going for. Now, when it comes to blush, I have to recommend Juvia's Place blushes because they offer so many shades and they come in duos. So you can kind of pick out the shade you like and you'll have two different colors that you can have. You can blend them, you can use them on their own, and a little bit goes a long way. So no matter what your skin tone, you're going to be able to get some pigment and have this blush actually show up, and it's going to last on your skin. Today, I'm going to use Volume 2. It has these beautiful peachy shades, and I like that I have a deeper color and a lighter color. I absolutely love the Morphe lip pencils. They're so good. They remind me a lot of the MAC lip liners, except at a much lower price. My two favorite shades are Honeymoon and Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea is a little more brown in tone, and that's kind of the look that I'm going to go for today. Lip liner is a step that I never skip. A lip liner and a lip gloss, I may do that. Just a lip liner and kind of fill my lips in, I may do that. Sometimes I will do like all out lip liner, lipstick, lip gloss, everything, but I personally never skip a lip liner. I love the way it just defines things, kind of like shades the lips in. It just gives them some definition, and I can't not wear a lip liner. I like to just follow the shape of my lips and kind of line right on the edge. I don't overline, but of course you can do what you like to do. I just really like this formula. If you've been here at my channel for a while, you probably already know the lipstick I'm going to talk about, and that is the Revlon lipsticks. I love these. Revlon makes over 80 shades of these lipsticks. I have so many. I recently did a whole video on my whole lipstick collection, kind of swatching them out by like shade colors, so definitely check that out if you love lipsticks. I'm going to start off with the shade Mink, and this is in the cream formula. So in this lipstick line, there are different finishes. So this is one of the cream finishes. The formula of these are so beautiful. I love this kind of cream finish. It's very creamy. It's not dry. It has pigment. If you told me this was a $25 lipstick from Sephora, I would believe you. It's that great. But I'm gonna go on top with another lipstick. And I like that I can layer these if I want to because I like to play with makeup. I don't wear makeup because I need to look better. Like, better for who? I'm a 10 out of 10 without makeup. You are a 10 out of 10 without makeup, like 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10, 20 out of 10. Are you kidding me? You're gorgeous. Makeup for me is about having fun, being creative, having some time just to myself where I get to play and I get to do something that I like to do. I'm gonna mix the shade Caramel Glaze, and this is a pearl finish. So it has like a little more glow to it, almost like a hint of a sheen. And I'm just gonna kind of keep that right to the center of my lips. Stunning. I love this color. And I think if I wanted to leave and be done with my makeup right now, I definitely could. It looks very fresh and cool and I'm into it. But I do wanna add a little bit of highlighter. I'm gonna use my Catrice Supreme Rose Beam Highlighter. This one is so good. Now, I don't want to go in with an intense highlight, so I'm just going to kind of like press that down once, and then this formula is so beautiful. And if I wanted to go in one more tap and layer it on, I could get that like glow from outer space type of glow. Like it could be intense, which I like. I like a formula that gives us some versatility. For setting spray, I have two options because I definitely wanted to give you options when it comes to setting spray because it's all about what you want your setting spray to do. This is the Pixi Makeup Fixing Mist, and this is going to kind of lock everything in, make sure the makeup kind of stays in place. It is going to kind of mesh everything together, going to take away like any of the powdery look I may have, but its main purpose is to like put the makeup in place, lock it in. Whereas this is the Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Setting Spray. This is not going to extend the wear of my makeup. What it's going to do is take away any of that powdery look. And if I'm looking a little too matte or I want to look extra glowy, that's what this is going to do. It's going to give me a little more of a dewy finish. So even though I am oily, I do like to use this sometimes just to give me a little bit of a glow, because even though I have oily skin, sometimes I want to glow, you know? But today I'm going to go with the Makeup Fixing Mist because I'm actually going to be hanging out with kids all day. I'm doing some volunteering. I'm going to be outside. I'm going to be running around all the rest of my day, and I need my makeup to be locked in. I recently did a whole entire video on eyeshadow palettes for beginners, so definitely check that out if you want to know some of my eyeshadow palette recommendations, and I have all different price points in that video. So rather than pull an eyeshadow palette, what I wanted to talk to you about today is single shadows. So Moira Cosmetics makes these chroma light shadows. They're absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. I have some shorts up using these, and I think they're stunning. I know Moira is sold in some stores. I heard that in Texas, HEB has these, but I usually find mine online. So of course I will be linking to everything down below in the description box. But today I'm going to use my ColourPop Super Shock shadows. I really love these. You can get these at Target, you can get these at Ulta online. One of the great things about Super Shocks is you're going to get a lot of color impact. I absolutely love the Super Shock formula for eyes, cheeks, highlight, everything. But you can use your finger, a brush, whatever you want to do. They're just super beautiful and easy to work with. I don't have an eyeshadow primer that I love from the drugstore. I haven't found one that's just perfect for me, but one that I think is okay and that does the job, does help extend the wear of my makeup a bit, is the Milani eyeshadow primer. So I'm going to use that one. I know some people like to use concealer as eyeshadow primer, but I cannot do that. I have deep set eyes. I'm 36. I have wrinkles and crinkles. I need an eyeshadow primer. Also, my lids are oily. Like, I need my makeup to last. Once I have my eyeshadow primer on, I will go in with my Super Shock shadow. With this Super Shock shadow, I can be a little messy because it's just shimmery and sparkly and ethereal and beautiful. So it doesn't have to be precise, which is why I think it's so great if you're kind of beginning, or if you're like me and you love makeup and you have tons of makeup and you play with makeup all the time. It's fun to throw on a little sparkle. For mascara, I'm going to go in with my ColourPop Level Up Lengthening Mascara. This has a really nice wand on it. It allows you to like grab the lashes. It gives me length mostly, but it also gives me volume. I like a mascara that kind of does it all, and this one doesn't smudge, doesn't flake. It does what it needs to do. I'm going to use a little bit of my ColourPop liner just in the lower waterline. I'm skipping eyeliner up top, but I just want to give a little definition. I hope this video was helpful if you're beginning your makeup starter kit, if you want to find some really great products at the drugstore, and I hope that you enjoyed watching, even if you absolutely love and have tons of makeup like I do. This was a lot of fun, and I would love to hear your recommendations. What products do you think would be perfect for a makeup starter kit? Doesn't have to be drugstore, just give me your favorites. I always love hearing from you. I love hearing your recommendations. Check out some of my other makeup videos. I have tons of content here on my channel, from drugstore, indie, luxury, high-end, everything. Hang around, talk makeup with me.